Today we're going to be reacting to Eric Liu, who won the Chopin Piano Competition. My name is Wes, I'm a professional pianist. My music has been used on TV shows and movies all around the world, and you can find me under Wesley Thomas. From the US, Asians, we up, baby! This is like our NBA. Whew. Yeah. Right off the top, he has very good dynamic control. So gentle, bro. Fantastic. See, louder on the left hand. The left hand, because when you play like in the deeper bass notes, they are just naturally louder anyway. So this is another part of piano control that people need to learn, is that when you play super loudly on the high notes versus the low notes, you have to kind of control them differently, because the bass notes, even if you're trying to play softly, they're just naturally a lot louder because they have more resonance. Right here, what he's doing, his left hand is not playing that loudly, his right hand is playing louder than normal, so it allows the right hand and the melody to shine. Pay attention, right? The thing that you hear the most in this part is the right hand, and the left hand, you barely hear it. It's just supporting the melody. Now a little bit more left hand. Something else I will give him credit for is that he's pretty good at controlling this tension that comes with music. Use of silence, going in a little bit faster, a little bit harder, and then boom, soft again, right? He's a master of bringing you in and pulling out, bringing you in and pulling out, which is a beautiful interpretation of classical music, because this is one of the also only ways that you can, I guess, interpret classical music. It's pretty much just through dynamics and speed. I think that's where most of the artistic interpretation comes from. So I was classically trained as a kid, right? I did all the British schools of music, all those music tests. I'm gonna be honest, I absolutely hated it. Classical music for me is very difficult because I'm somebody as a musician who appreciates originality, creativity, and artistic expression. I find that classical music is very difficult to do that for. I know some people will maybe disagree with me. I love the concept and the structure of playing jazz, because let me see if I can, hold on. So the basic concept behind jazz music is that you have a chart, which is the song and the melody with the chords, but there is so much room for expression. So I'll give you an example. One of the most classic jazz standards is Autumn Leaves. right? Something I love about jazz is that it depends on how you're feeling. You can vibe with the different musicians. So let's say you want to play it a little bit more lively. And you can even take the same principle and use it to a lot of contemporary and pop music. Stay by Justin Bieber and Kid Laroi, for example. Whereas I feel like classical music is extremely rigid. How do you stand out compared to all these other people if it's not just about technique? Because I think now most musicians are good enough where they're not gonna really make mistakes, and you can have some artistic expression, but I don't think it's as interesting as some other genres, but that's personally me. One thing I'll give these musicians credit though is that memorizing 1 hour of classical music is not easy. This guy must have practiced thousands of hours to get to this point. I competed a lot when I was a kid. I just competed on like one song, and the amount of preparation it took to get that one song was crazy. So a whole entire concert like this, people have to dedicate their whole entire life. Something I will give him credit for in this part though, is that when he's doing the harmonies between the notes, he is perfectly balancing the sound between the lower end and the higher end. It's difficult to balance, and I don't have an acoustic piano, so the way I play it's gonna be a little bit different, but he is highlighting the right hand melody a lot more than the left one. So the left one is usually just a lot more accompaniment, so he'll play like, you see what I'm saying? That takes a lot of masterful control on an acoustic piano, so I'll give him credit for that too. Yeah, or maybe it's just the way the thing is mixed, where the lows are not as high as the right hand, but fantastic. This park is phenomenal. Wow. Woof. Ba. What is it? Woo! I also remember when I was learning piano, right? My piano teacher would teach me how to express myself when I'm playing the piece. And it's so funny because all classical musicians kind of have the same behaviors, right? When they're playing, it's always like, yeah, something like that. I don't have the full piano, so I can't really do it. But I remember my piano teacher telling me, look more involved. And then I would just be like all these dramatic pushes and stuff. But this is something that us as Asians, personally, we struggle a lot with. And this is why I admire Black musicians so much. They're so fearless when it comes to moving their body, allowing them to lose themselves in the music. And this is kind of the paradox when it comes to classical music, because it's something that is so technically important. You need to focus on every single detail. But when you're really feeling the music and you're just letting it take you, right? You can't think, you just have to let it happen. And then sometimes you'll make a mistake, sometimes you'll gamble and you'll try something that people may not like, but that's a whole part of the process. And the rigidity of classical music makes it very difficult for like higher expression, if that makes sense. His soft parts are amazing though, man. I gotta give him credit. It's really, really good. Wow. Fantastic. Wow. Let's go, bro. Woo! Yeah, wow, killer. I don't want to stop him. But something he also does really well is he knows what notes to also accent. So accents are when you play a note louder and you emphasize it more than the rest. So an example would be, the notes that I'm emphasizing is every time I hit a chord, but then all the notes in between are a lot softer. And it's a lot more difficult to do when he's playing this quickly with so many notes, and he's a master at it. So I gotta give him credit for that. Ba, 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 right? Wow. Beautiful. This guy is very, very good. As someone who doesn't really like classical music that much, I think he did a really good job of making the pieces sing. It's so funny. You look at athletic stuff, it's all black guys and white guys, and you look at all the music stuff, it's all Asian people. You gotta love it. Let me know if you guys would like to see more of this type of video. I highly recommend you watch this video next.